Hi, and now for our second video on MT4. Now you can move our charts around and create a workspace over 2 or more screens. Let's look at some of the little, what should we call, I don't even know, call them little thumbnails or whatever on top here, the tools available that you can use. So let's just maximize one of our charts. Let's take here US dollars, so we got a nice clean chart. So there we're all over one screen now. Now let's go to the top. First time frame. You can see that there M1 is obviously, if I click there, my chart will become a 1 minute time frame chart. It'll take a while now, and I'm not connected, which normally means it takes a bit longer. So I'm not even going to wait for it. And your 5 minute, 15 minute, you can click on it. Let's go to hourly, and there we got an hourly chart again. So you got your across weekly, monthly. It's also available. Sometimes people don't like it there, and just to increase their workspace, if I move all these tools to the top, so you got there, you can see it's like a clock. If you click there, there's a drop down, and there you can also again change your time frame. There's a 4-hour time frame I just used, so it's either there and on the left hand side where you can use or change your time settings. The next thing that's important is here's our normal cursor, which we all know, which is the one I'm moving around now, and left clicking. And then especially on a mouse, you just left click on top there, and on a laptop you haven't got a scrolling wheel, so what you get is just a crosshair here. So as I move it around, you can see my crosshair. I can put it over a certain candle, which will then pinpoint down the bottom. I can see the time and the crosshair, then also the value that it had at that given point. So that's our crosshair, and you can just go and right click on it and it will disappear again. So that is your crosshairs. The other thing that you will be using is on the top here, you got a plus and a minus, which is zoom out and zoom in. So if I click on there, the chart becomes bigger. And as we said earlier on, we just left click there to move the chart along, and now we can left click here, drag it up to make it a bit bigger, resize it, and there we've got a nice looking 4-hour chart now, which we made a little bit bigger. We can click again, it will get even bigger. Left click to move it across, and it's a little bit too flat. Let's widen it up a little bit, and there we've got a nice looking chart. Maybe one more there, something like that. And if we go to a minimize at minus sign, we click there, it will go smaller, smaller. We can left click in the chart, drag it across, and make it a bit flatter again, something like that. And that is how we manipulate this chart within a certain time frame by just using that tools I just showed you there. So the other thing we would be using, and not really always, you might open a chart and it will not be in candlestick form yet. It will most probably look something like this. Let's make it a bit bigger. Your chart might look some, whoops. Okay, let's just move it totally across. And if you ever get that you open a chart that looks like that, then it's a bar chart, as you can see there where I've got my mouse. You just go next to that, you can see it opens there candlesticks, and by clicking on it, immediately it changes over to candlesticks, and you can also go to a line chart. Very few people use this line charts, and just the old school guys, they will use a bar chart. That's how they start off with their trading career, was all in bar charts, closing and opening prices. But these days everybody's familiar with this candlestick. So that is what all those do. We've covered that. We've covered these two buttons for the scrolling. We've covered the chart shift one. We covered the time periods. We've also covered the template. We will show you later on how to use a template, how to save a template, that I'm leaving for last. And you drop down there on this thing over across, you'll get indicators, and there's oscillators. By just grouped as there's average directional movement index, average turn range. There you got some trend indicators, oscillators, volumes, Bill Williams custom, and I never use this, and doesn't mean anything to me. And the way that I go and fetch my indicators, if you go to a top there, there's something there. It's got like a little star next to it. It's called Navigator. If I click on Navigator, then this box on the side opens. Now you first got to expand them. Under indicators, you can just click in that little block there, and it opens all the indicators that you can use on this chart. As you can see, there's also another box here, custom indicators, which just basically is more indicators which was sort of custom built. And in the center you got expert advisors, which is when you put something in a chart, it's actually working. How can I put this? It's exactly what it says, the expert advisor. So that's a little bit more for the future in terms of your main aim is first to just learn the package, and then we'll get the expert advisor. So I'm going to close that again. Now the way of to get a indicator on the chart, you just go to whatever, go through here, whatever you want to put on your chart. Let's go here to custom indicators, because I've got a custom MACD in there, which will be on your platform as well. I did load it in there. You just click on what you want to put on your chart. You just click on there and hold onto it. Left click, hold onto it, drag it across there to some white space, let it go, and you will find inputs and so on. Common, you don't have to worry about that. Under common, if allow DLL imports not ticked, you can tick that and just click OK. And there on the bottom you've got your perfect MACD. We call it a 2-line MACD. And let's go fetch something else. Maybe you want to put an RSI on there. Don't put it on top of this chart, because we'll actually, if I drag it across and I put it right on where the MACD was, I let it go, then what will happen is the RSI is actually on the same chart. Now there you can see it actually. Can you see there, that little thin blue line is the RSI. So we maybe want to get it in a different window so we can work with it on its own. So what we do is we can left click. Let's try again. We go to that line, you just left click on that line, you left click and then right click. You don't move the cursor around. Let's do it again. You take the cursor, you put it just on that little blue line. It might, something like that might even come up where it says it's a RSI. Then right click, and you can go to the properties again, or delete indicator, which is what we want to do. Now the indicator is removed. Let's go back to the RSI, left click, drag it across to the chart, leave it in some white space, let it go, OK, and now you got your RSI sitting on the bottom there. So, and that is how you take stuff and put it over on the other side. If you want to, let's put some Bollinger Bands on it. The Bollinger Bands is probably on the top side. There's Bollinger Bands. Left click, hold it in, drag it across, let it go. Just click OK, and there we got Bollinger Bands on the chart. If these are too big, all you do is you can see where 2 lines forming, parallel lines. Left click and hold in and drag it down. Go to that one, 2 parallel lines. Left click, hold it in and drag down. That's how you make it smaller. So that's all under this little star navigator. Go play with that as well. And there's that little cross there. Click there and it's gone. You don't want it there. It takes up space off your chart. The other thing which we can also still look at here and watch is you got here also a quick reference to a new chart. As you can see, it's the same drop down box where if I go to File, New Chart, and then put in a chart, there's sort of a little bit of a shortcut by that little green cross there. As you can see that it says New Chart. You can left click on there and immediately you can put whatever chart you want to put on, you can put in the chart. We did cover that in the first video of how to put the new chart in there. So that is concerning those ones. And what I will do in any case is profiles. We're not going to touch on the profiles at this stage. That's also for a later video. And that's all I'm going to leave on this one. And in the third one, we would go and we start covering some of the actual tools as well, the Fibonacci tools and some of the other things that is available on MetaTrader 4. So good luck, and practice these tools now first before you carry on to the next video. And while you're doing that, I'll look at how long we're going to have and what else we're going to say on the next one. Thanks, guys.